Today's first reading from the book of Deuteronomy tells the story of the journey of the Israelites into the promised land. The promised land was a symbol of heaven, of peace, where everybody gets along, where everybody is together, although everybody just was the tribes of the Israelites. It's our journey. We are on that same journey, moving forward towards the promised land, towards heaven. But our heaven includes everybody. And the book of Deuteronomy starts off by saying the way there is the law, the Torah, which is not too difficult for us to do. We don't have to go looking for it. You know, it's not something that is distant. It's in our hearts. All we have to do is look inside our hearts to find the road map, or the GPS, I guess these days, of how to get to the promised land. And this reminds me of a beautiful saying from St. Augustine. In his Confessions, in which he tells about his own journey towards God, he writes, "Late have I loved you, O beauty ever ancient and ever new. Late have I loved you. You were inside me. You were inside me. But I was outside, and that's where I looked for you." We can get distracted. We look everywhere except in our own hearts. Today's second reading from the letter to the Colossians meditates on why that law, why this roadmap is inside us. Because God is inside us. He is the image of the unseen God, the firstborn of all creation. And he is in all creation. He is in every leaf, every plant, every animal, and in our hearts especially. And all we need to do is get in touch with our hearts, to know him who is the way. He is the way, not only the road map, but he's the vehicle. And he brings us all together, inviting us to join him in dying to our selfishness by the blood of the cross, and to rise to a new life that we had not ever imagined, where all people are one, for he is the head of the church, and the church invites everyone. The gospel is an expression of how we can live this. Whereas the priest and the Levite in our story look for the law outside of themselves. They do everything you're supposed to do. So if they were Christians, they might have gone to mass every day, and say all of their prayers and do the rosary, but they have no compassion. Their hearts aren't in it. It's the foreigner, the Samaritan, who takes compassion. He's the one who reaches out and recognizes the presence of Christ in the poor man who was beaten. And so we are all brothers and sisters. Let us look for ways to live this parable. Maybe just a very brief story. Since I've been in Fiji, I've had 2 flat tires. And I was out trying to fix them, not doing a very good job of it. And both times, absolute strangers stopped and fixed it for me and wouldn't take any money. I met the Good Samaritan. Let us be Good Samaritans, living the compassion and the love that is in our hearts, and cross over into the promised land with Christ.